How you going everyone? My name's Jason. Welcome to this video. What I'm going to show you here is how to make a splat map or splatting map, which is basically a way of using color channels to be able to create textures like coordinates for, say, Unreal Engine or Unity or anything like that. Okay, now if you know anything about World Machine, that's one program that that you can create splat maps with and export them. But I don't have World Machine, and I wanted to try and figure out how I could actually make my own splat map with a height map. So I used, in my last tutorial, if you watched it, Eon View, to create a height map, which is this. And then I basically want to create a splat map out of this height map. Now you could do the same with any height map or anything really with this method. Now if you notice what I've done, so with this height map, it's the same height map that I import into Unreal as well. So not only do I of course get the height map that I get all the information out of for my landscape, but I also create the coordinates to be able to texture it without having to literally paint it myself. So it's just a real time saver. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that now. Okay, so if you notice on this splat map, what I've done is I've done red, green and blue. So the red I'm using is the peak, you know, like snow or something, like the peak of the mountains. The green is like the mid-tone I've done. Sorry, my apologies. The blue is the mid, sorry, and then the green is the ground for like grass sort of area, sort of thing. So I've actually did it the wrong way around. What I normally do, I like to go red, green, and then blue. Is blue being the bottom, red being the top. But in this case, I've just got to remember that I've got red as the top and blue as the middle. So when we make this next one, I'll make sure I get it right so I don't confuse you. Alright, so I'll close that down. Alright, and I'll close that. Actually, I might as well. No, I'll start fresh so you know what's going on. Alright, so first things first, of course, I'm just going to get my height map, drag and drop it in. Okay, now mine's an index, so I need to change that. I just need to tell it that I want it to be an RGB. Okay, so it's an RGB now. Alright, so I just double clicked it just to unlock it if yours is locked. Okay, now first thing I want to do is create two layers. 1, 2. Okay, and this is for like the RGB basically. Okay, so I'm going to go to the bottom, and now I'm going to basically hit D. This will just over here, it will change your color picker to black and white. Okay, and I'm just going to pick. It's going to pick this white, so I want the top first. Okay, and then if you go to select and color range, okay, now it's just picked that white. Now with the fuzziness you can turn it up and down. Okay, so the white is the majority of what it's going to pick because that's the color I picked. Okay, so you can just go around. I just want the white. Alright, and I don't want that much of it, so I'll turn it down to about there. And if I click OK, then it will pick out the bits. Okay, now I probably want a little bit more than that, so I'm going to go back to color range. I'm going to expand it up a bit more. Alright, and then OK on that. Alright, I'm going to deselect it first. Select color range. Okay, about around there somewhere. Okay, yeah, so it's a little bit more. That's what I want. Okay, I'm just going to go Control X, and then I'm going to go on the next layer and Control V. Okay, so it's on that layer. Okay, now I'm going to hide that, go back to here again. Okay, and then do the same thing. Select color range this time. I'll just hit D. Select color range. And I'll just select this grey here because I sort of want the grey now. This is going to be the mid. the mid-tones. Okay, so what's the full? Okay, so there's a lot there. So I'm just going to crunch it down until it's mostly the darker grey. Okay, so around about there somewhere. I'll click OK, and I'll go X on that, and I'll paste that on the top. Control V. Alright, so we should have our layers now. I'll just put a blank layer in just so you can see what's going on. So fill, actually before I do that, I'll just hit D again, edit, fill, and I just want to fill it with the foreground, which is black, just so I can see it better, that's all. Okay, so now this way I can have a little look. Okay, now that's the top layer. Okay, so I'm going to put that on top so I don't get confused. So that's the top. Okay. Alright, now that's the middle, as you can see. Now it's closest to the top. That's the middle. Alright, so I'll put that in the middle. Just this way, don't get confused. So I can put red, green, and then blue. And I know when I'm in Unreal Engine, for instance, when I connect the nodes, it's red, green, blue. It doesn't confuse me. You know, it won't confuse you. You just like high, mid, low. It's a good. It seems to be a good system. Okay, so I've got the snow, for instance. I've got like the mid part, you know, vegetation or sort of patchy grass or something, and then the bottom I can have it as like dirt or sand for water, where water cover or something. Okay. Alright, I'm going to delete this black now. Okay, now I'm going to go to channels. I'm going to create 3 channels for R, G and B. Okay, now I'm going to go first layer and select everything. Now the bottom one. Okay, well, let's start at the top, just to keep it in order. Go to the top. Okay, the very top, and then Control A to select everything. Okay, and so there'll be a box around it. Okay, and then Control Copy, and then to channel the top alpha, Control V. Okay, so let's put it there. Okay, now we'll deselect that and go to the next one. Okay, Control A to select everything, Control Copy, and next alpha, Control V. Alright, so there's our middle, and now the bottom one. Okay, turn off that, turn on this one, make sure you highlight it, Control A, Control Copy, just make sure you Control A because you have to grab everything. Okay, and paste. Alright, so now we've got our 3 layers, top, middle, bottom. Now we want to get rid of these. We want to get rid of the blue, cyan, and magenta. Yes, so we've just got our 3 here left. Okay, now what you want to do is go layer, actually first, just follow me, image, mode, and we'll change it to RGB. Okay, and then it just picks up our 3 red, green and blues, makes it into a splat map for us, which is pretty cool, isn't it? Oh, I think so. Took me a little while to figure out how to do it, so I was pretty happy with myself when I figured it out. So like I said, we've got red and then green for our middle and then blue for our lows. Okay, now I just rushed through that pretty quick, but you can fiddle around with it a bit more, you know, with the color range to maybe not get so much blue and more green, or however you like it. But yeah, that's how easy it is to make a splat map. So you can import it into Unreal Engine or Unity or anything like that, and you can texture your landscape via the red, green and blue channels, which I'll show you how to do that in Unreal Engine, at least in the next tutorial. So stay tuned, and I hope this helped you out. Please thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great day, evening, afternoon, and ciao for now.